So, American Werewolf, 1980. I'd never even left the state before, and suddenly I find myself working side by side with Rick Baker, my hero of heroes. I had followed his work forever, and I would go to work early. It was the most magical period of my career ever, even to this day, to be taught how to do from the basics up the Rick Baker way. And, I was nervous. I was very nervous, I have to say, because, Rick was a god to me after the Star Wars Cantina and the Fury and the Incredible Melting Man, King Kong, all that stuff he's done. I have to say that I was just shaking in my boots, but there came a turning point very soon on working in American Werewolf where we'll never forget the time that he sat us down in the very beginning and said, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make heads that deform. We're going to make arms that deform, claws that grow, hair comes out, all this stuff, legs, full bodies. And I'm like, wow, that sounds really amazing, Rick. Who's going to do all that work? And he's like, you guys are. And I'm like, excuse me? And he goes, we'll take it. I've never done anything like this either. We'll all learn together. We'll take it one step at a time. And so the fact that Rick had enough confidence in us to put his name on our work changed every aspect of my life at that point, because I couldn't even tie my shoes before that, basically. If my shower door got stuck, I'd fall on the floor crying like a little baby. And so Rick really ended up being kind of like a father figure to me for a number of years, and it was pretty amazing. And by the time we went on set, again, I'd never left the country, and suddenly we all find ourselves in London, which, talk about culture shock. I was 20 years old, and the first time you leave the country from America, a very young country, to a country like anywhere in Europe, basically, suddenly everything's different. And it's one of the funniest things that ever happened on set, I apologize in advance, Mr. Landis, is that John Landis was actually mean to Rick Baker on set. He was abusive to him. I'll never forget, we put the extended, David Naughton holds his hand up and you see the palm grow. There's like a change-o mechanical hand. And then the next thing, when we want to see David wider, we put appliances with stretched out palms. And John was like, as soon as we walk up David on set with the stretched out palm appliances, John's like, Rick, this is an outrage. This is ridiculous. I can't put these on film. They look like Popeye, for God's sake. You're killing me. Get that off my set. And Rick's like, well, what are we going to do? We got to shoot it. So ultimately it ended up being David had Popeye hands. But all's well that ends well, kids, right? How many years has the movie been out there, and it's still a huge hit, and it's become pretty iconic. So thumbs up to everyone. Tune in next week for another tasty treat from Rubberhead. And more importantly, mark your calendars, kids, for January the 13th. That's Friday the 13th, 2017, for the worldwide debut of the actual book at IMATS Los Angeles.